This will be sunglasses, lip gloss. The day I decided to transition was I had just turned 30. My reservist was coming up really soon. It was a Sunday night and I was sitting there in my toilet, really depressed. I just didn't want to go to sleep because the next day is like, gotta go army already, so I just was in the toilet and I was crying. And that was kind of the point where I was like, okay, I cannot live like this much longer, you know what I mean? I did not talk about this to anybody. It was a process where you kind of had to figure out a lot by yourself. I'm the second of 4 kids. I have 3 brothers. Eldest brother Sean, and then 2 younger brothers Alastair and Dylan. We were a close-knit family, definitely. Played sports, played video games, basically everything I'm into right now. I won't say I knew for the longest time I was trans. You don't really know for sure, right? You always kind of suspect growing up. When I was in K2, graduation so the little kids, they put on a play, right? And it was quite exciting, get to put on a little bit of makeup and stuff. But the main star of the show was this girl, pretty girl, and she got mad makeup, lipsticks and eyeliners and stuff. I was super duper jealous. And meanwhile, I had to dress in this red dinosaur costume. So not say very flattering. It was kind of cute though, I must say. We used to take a lot of holidays. So on one of our travels, this was when I was in primary school, on our trip to Italy, on our tour group, there was a trans lady in the group. So that was kind of, I guess, my first time meeting a trans woman in my life. A couple weeks later, when I was back in Singapore, I remember very vividly, it was a Saturday morning, and then my brothers were watching cartoons. I woke up early in the morning. I was still lying down in bed, and then for some reason, I started thinking about this trans woman whom we saw on our trip. And then it just suddenly dawned on me oh, wait a minute, she's a trans woman. That means once upon a time, she would have been exactly at my spot right now. So that's when it kind of clicked, oh, okay, so it's something that can be achieved somehow. At that age, you kind of brush it off You don't see anyone else expressing the same opinion, so you kind of keep it to yourself you know what I mean? At the time in the early 2000s, the representation of trans women in society wasn't all that edifying to be honest. Seeing that as a child and then knowing how you feel, you kind of think oh, okay, so is there something wrong with me? Definitely, I mean, I felt quite ashamed of myself at times. This side of me that I was kind of keeping secret and not willing to share with anybody else, even the closest people in my life. You remember when you first started to broach the subject as in what's going on with me, all my changes at the time? Because that was the time where I decided that I was going to transition, and then I was starting to dress a little bit differently, I guess. So you're like, what's up?
I felt like I had an idea, a rough idea,
Of?
right, of what was going on. I didn't want you to feel like you're doing this alone. I wanted to let you know whatever was up, that you can talk to me about it, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't planned or anything, but since you asked, might as well tell you why not?
Yeah, I mean, from my perspective, I wanted to hear you because there were a lot of questions. And when I knew it was coming from a very genuine place, then my reaction is to kind of guide, but not to
Not to dictate.
not to dictate in
just
any way, but to just make it comfortable for you to do your thing.
And then I started getting you into basketball, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you legit like basketball or you just pandering to me?
it was a medium for us to connect as well. But I did like it. I felt like that was what I could do lah. I also have a pretty decent relationship with Papa and Mama.
That time my relationship with them wasn't great.
Mainly to validate both parties. To validate you and what you're feeling, what you're going through. But to also validate them and their
Concerns
experience.
and stuff.
We were very shocked, you know. It's like a stunner. She had someone she was going out with
And steady.
and then
Gonna get married.
we never ever had any inkling whatsoever suggestion throughout that 30 years. No way. And then of course it took some time to absorb, and of course, you know, some self-denial. We said, like, you know, are you sure this thing, is it outside influence? But then also at the same time we said, like, she's not like at 18, 16, she's 30 years old.
Right now is good that we can support her and have an open mind.
Still our child.
Yeah.
No matter what, still your child.
In terms of my appearance and coming out to a wider social circle, like on Instagram and social media, I just posted a picture of myself presenting femme on my Instagram. I put a caption, just one word, untitled, you know. A couple of comments, oh my gosh, congratulations, and stuff like that. I'm sure some people will have some opinions that they don't reveal to me. Got good and bad lah. One of my concerns I had back then was like, you know, would I be accepted by the woman in society, you know what I mean? I was part-timing at a restaurant, just like a service staff. That was like my first experience with the public as a woman, kind of like litmus test lah, you know? And I must say the girls at that restaurant, they were all like super welcoming, and that did like wonders for like my insecurities and sense of belonging. I let my parents pick the name, because like, you know, parents kind of choose the kids' names, right? So I collected like a bunch of names lah, and I gave it to them lah. I said, here, and I choose my name. So they chose Julianna, and then my middle name is Maria, Maria. It's my grandmother's name. That's how I got my name. I didn't want them to feel like I'm disappearing, you know. I wanted them to still have that sense of ownership over their kids, like over me. Get them along for the ride.
My mom used to also babysit all of them. We are very overwhelmed. She chose her middle name as my mother's name. Oh, the whole class down there.
I guess this is when I learned that there's something I wanted to be but not really supposed to be. You know what I mean?
And we're at this party, at this time. What age?
I don't know. At this event.
This is 1995. So, how old are you?
6 years old.
So at that time, so then you realize something,
Yeah.
but you didn't tell us or say anything.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yes, you
young.
don't know. I see. For me personally, I begin to realize that she has kept this within herself for don't know how many years. And that, I think, was very torturous to her. For us also, growing up, I mean, we had a lot of friends also who they never come out of the box, you know. We are still learning. We also make mistakes because for 30 over years, we've been calling her him, and then now we have to change to she. And so sometimes slip of the tongue, and you can see that she gets a bit upset. Then we realize a lot of things, cannot take things for granted. You have to ask, you have to talk. Talking is very important.
I was also aware that they will need a bunch of help lah to get through this themselves. I'm the one going through transition, of course, but for them, it's kind of like their whole world has also like turned upside down. My mother was quite distraught lah, and she like was texting me a lot, and she's saying things like, "I'm really sorry if I made any mistakes bringing you up, and like I haven't been the best mother or what." But it's not true. She's been an amazing mother, you know. That night lah, when we talk things out lah, I also told them lah, like, okay, I understand this is like a major shock for you also lah, you know. We try to get through it together lah. Eventually we did lah. So part of that was like, you know, coming out to extended family, my grandmother, who was like super traditional. So one day we had like extended family coming over. They kind of see once a year at Chinese New Year kind of a thing, you know. And then like my mother preempted me the previous day, hey, they're all coming, huh? So and they all know already, you know. So just relax and stuff. I was like, okay. Sum up all my courage, and then I came outside, and then my mom was like, everybody introducing Julianna. I was like, oh my god, no, don't do that. You know what I mean? She meant well lah, obviously, you know. But oh my god, face red. I was like, couldn't make eye contact with anyone. And so, hello. I walked to the kitchen, pretend to take some water, and then go back to my room. That's what I did. When it comes to surgery, for the longest time, I always kind of thought it would be too expensive, too dangerous. It was always a question mark lah, you know.
Actually, I think we are the ones that asked her, okay, do you want to go further? If I'm not mistaken,
Yes.
we asked her,
talked
because I know
about it.
she will not mention this because it costs some money also. So we told her that we are here to support you. You go and search and get some opinions.
Like, it took some time to seriously close my eyes and think about it. Instantly, it was like, yes, of course I want to go for surgery, you know. What time's your flight on Tuesday?
I think it's the same time flight.
Afternoon flight. Afternoon lah. Let's just say it's coming on Monday. 7 days in the hospital, then discharge, move to hotel for dressing and dilation every day, 2 times a day.
So I was thinking is just, wait and see how the first 2 days, how you were feeling and all that.
So this here is the hospital ward. This is where my life is gonna change. Oh my gosh. This is the night before the surgery. It is 9:30 right now. So tomorrow my surgery will be at 1 p.m. Like 24 hours from now, we'll have a vagina. Damn. That's pretty cool. Excited. Cannot wait. So I kind of want to get it over and done with in a way, you know. Yeah, I just want to get on the road to recovery. In the waiting room, this lady approached me, recommending me to do this other method instead. I was very conflicted after that. Like, I suddenly felt very insecure in my decision. So I was stressed out. I spent the afternoon talking to my brother, talking about the pros and cons and doing some research and just like trying to figure out where this like advice was coming from. I felt very fortunate that I had this support with me. Just finished the surgery. Yeah, I'm aching all over. I want to sit up and like stretch and stuff and like crack my back and all, but everything is so, it feels like everything is so fragile.
We didn't want to overwhelm her with our visits. We know ourselves, we know when we go there, we don't want to have nothing to do. And then just keep bugging her, go to her room and this, she got no privacy. We said, okay, let's bring our golf clubs along and we play it by ear there lah. We were trying to golf, but our mind was everywhere. The ball also was everywhere. But we could not settle down. Every day we also a bit anxious that she recovers well.
my parents came to visit, and then suddenly my mom had a call. So she had to like go out of the room to take the call. So just my father and I. And then he started crying, you know. And he never ever does that. I was so shocked, you know. I was like, then he was like, very proud of you, and you're very brave to want to be who you are, that kind of thing, you know. So that was very memorable. That was a very touching moment. And then my mother came back this trick me, you know. I feel great. I'm very happy with everything I have done. And it felt so me, you know what I mean? It felt like this is what I always wanted, you know? This dream has been actualized. The euphoria felt very, very real.
Cool, very cool.
She's very happy. I think it's wonderful to see that.
I feel right. That's how I feel. Yeah, it feels good. It feels cool. It feels very validating.
Before I used to identify as a trans woman, but now that I'm kind of like about 4 years into my transition, I kind of just want to identify as a woman.
Ready? Lester, tag this shit out.
Wow,
Cool, eh?
very cool.
Very cool, eh?
Very cool. How many times you had to take the picture? Many times.
2-3 times.
2-3 times.
Only check it also more. At least black and white looks better than when you got color, to be honest.
Very cool.
Cool, eh? Can I get a skeet? Skeet?